window here. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the program.
Hello, peers, faculty, and visitors. Welcome to the 2021 Student Leadership Forum. Don't miss a click, securing opportunities virtually. My name is Whitney Moore, and I'm a junior double majoring in accounting and marketing. I am a Terry Bacon and Gala on the Bluff Scholarship recipient. Looking for new opportunities. This forum is especially important for my peers and I as we learn to navigate this new virtual reality and get new opportunities. And I'm excited to hear from the company's president about available opportunities in internships and careers. Thank you.
Thank you, Whitney, for that beautiful welcome. I'm sorry I missed part of it when Dr. Lou started recording. I think I left the meeting rather than approved. So I apologize for that, but thank you for the welcome, Whitney. And we're going to go ahead and move right forward with a message from the Dean, Dr. Donald Andrews. He's the Dean here in the College of Business.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Donald Andrews. I'm Dean of the College of Business here at Southern University of Baton Rouge, and happy to welcome you to our Student Leadership Forum. Don't miss a click, securing opportunities virtually. I want to thank Ms. Banks for facilitating this program. I also want to thank Ms. Whitney Moore for welcoming us to this program. She's one of our outstanding scholars in the College of Business. My message to you this morning is going to be brief because we have some great speakers lined up that's going to talk to you about some great opportunities. So I may come back at the end of the program to try to give a summary, but I just really want to thank all of the industry and company speakers that have taken time out of their busy schedule to share with us some of the great opportunities that they have for our students here at Southern University Baton Rouge. As you know, our College of Business is accredited by AACSB International, so we have to show more or less that we have outcomes placements for our students. So I want to recognize you as being valuable participants to us here in the College of Business in terms of making sure that our students have all of the opportunities that are available to them in terms of national, local, as well as regional companies. So I'll stop at this particular time, but again, thank you. And to all the students out there, pay close attention, take good notes, and there's a question and answer session. So have some questions that you can ask of these individuals that are quite knowledgeable in their particular areas. So thank you very much. Back to you, Ms. Banks.
Thank you, Dean, for always inspiring our students and encouraging them to believe in themselves and also believing in the students. We're going to move forward. We're going to now get right into the part I'm sure all of you all have been waiting for, is the company representations. We have several representatives here on the call today that's going to share with you a wealth of information about their companies and how to secure opportunities. We will go a little bit out of order from what the program initially has. We're going to give some of the presenters time to get on the call. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start with Fatima. Fatima is she's the HBCU Relationships Manager at Walmart. Fatima leads a robust DEI talent acquisition and DEI initiatives. She also has 4 years experience working at the intersections of social justice, diversity, and equity programming in higher education. So Fatima, go ahead and share your presentation with our students.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me to this session today. I'm so excited to speak with you and to share with you all of our opportunities. So yes, as Mrs. Jasmine just stated, my name is Fatima Sacco and I work at Walmart Corporate. I've been working here for about 2 years. I started in the technology and incubation arm of the business, mostly focusing on making small startups go from startups to full launch. So that was my role there. And so I'm so happy to be here to share with you about our exciting opportunities for juniors and seniors. So before we jump right in, I just wanted to share a little bit more about Walmart. So Walmart is a Fortune 1 retailer, meaning that, we are #1 on Fortune 500, and we have about 2.6 million associates worldwide and 1.6 in the United States alone. In 2020, we promoted over 200,000 associates into full-time positions, and we gave them higher base pay as well. However, you might be thinking, okay, what about that information attracts students to our brand and to our experience? So first and foremost, our brand is everywhere. I know you see the large retailers that are in the store. However, we have more of a larger, robust system. We have corporate roles, technology roles, and of course the retail roles. So our brand is very much out there. In addition to our brand, we really try to focus on our recruiting experience. How are we interacting with students and letting them know about our opportunities in fun and engaging ways? And in regards to our paying housing benefits, all of our internships and full-time positions come with relocation benefits and housing assistance. So Walmart is really trying to work with diverse students and really trying to fulfill needs and make sure that we are providing those kinds of opportunities. And in regards to the intern experience, we're really trying to work with you all to make sure that you're having a robust time here, right? Like, we're not going to give you photocopies to make. We're not going to, give you little mundane tasks. We're really trying to pair you with mentors and resources so that you're really answering and solving business problems. So some interns even work on $3 million intern experience problems and things of that sort, because we really want you to leverage your knowledge and grow here. And then in regards to opportunities for growth, so almost every single internship has a full-time role capacity. And what that means is that if you perform very well during your internship, you will be offered a full-time role here. So it's almost as if you're guaranteed a summer job and a full-time role after you graduate. So I think that is, amazing in terms of your opportunities for career growth. Additionally, in terms of role alignment to interests and skill sets, we're really trying to make sure that we're pairing you with mentors and projects that really align to what you want to do in your career and really align to your personal skill set. And last but not least, Walmart was rated top 100 internship programs on Way Up, which is this platform that enables students to rate their experiences. And that was just good for us because that was direct student feedback in terms of what we were doing really well and how we can improve it. So, before I show you the intern experience video, I just wanted to let you know we will be having a bunch of different resume workshops and LinkedIn workshops. And that's really to facilitate and make sure that students are, going into our opportunities fully prepared, right? We want to make sure that, resumes are good, LinkedIn presence is great, and that we are providing multiple different touch points with students so that when they get here, they feel like, I attended this workshop, I attended this workshop, and then those opportunities are also for you to network with other HBCU students as well. So now I'm going to show you guys the intern experience video that will highlight more about interns' experience from the previous summer.
My name is Kamira Carter. I'm a rising senior at Mississippi State University.
My name is Peyton Colditz. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
I'm Jonathan Yan. I go to Grand Valley State University.
I think that this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Walmart is the #1 retailer, and it still shocks me today that I was able to be a part of the internship program.
Working for Walmart feels like so much. I just know when I put my blue vest on a daily basis, I'm proud to be wearing that vest.
You learn from like so many like the best leaders in their industries. Anything you want to learn about in any field is here.
I'm a person that likes to go big or go home. At Walmart, you have the power to grow in any way you want to.
No matter where you come from, you can do big things. I came from a small town in Mississippi, and here I am working at Walmart in merchandising.
I just feel like really privileged. I wake up every day. I can't like, I don't 100% believe it.
Awesome. So you all have heard a little bit about our summer internship experiences, and this slide just sort of walks you through what your full summer experience would encompass. So it will be individualized projects. So each intern is given an 11-week project that they get to work on with their leadership team, and that is really to build on the skill set, and that is to evaluate what you will be doing once you accept the role as well. So this is just sort of a project that we're going to give you and really trying to assess your skill set and how you can help the company. We also provide lots of different virtual summer opportunities. So that includes executive speaker series, wellness Wednesdays, trivia nights, fitness events, and we had 88 events over 53 days. So these events are not mandatory, but we just like to provide it because we know that for a virtual experience, it is good to engage and network with your peers and also your leaders. And then in regards to mentors and guides, so we provide all of our students with mentors and guides throughout the summer internship experience. And this person is really responsible for making sure that you are staying afloat and that you have everything that you need to be successful for those independent projects and for those networking opportunities that will present themselves throughout the summer. And then in regards to learning and development, that's really where the hackathons, the facility tours, and mostly all of those other things come in. And then depending on where you are in your business, you might be presented with additional opportunities that are more focused for you and the students that are also doing that specific internship. And so this talks a little bit more about the virtual summer events and how that all plays into our mission of, we're really trying to focus on connecting you to the business, connecting you to each other, and connecting you with the future. So now here's the fun part. So Walmart summer internships align in 3 core pillars. We have corporate functions, which is everything that is not to be sold or resold. We have retail, which encompasses our supply chain and our merchandising and marketing. And then we have global technology, which encompasses all of the global tech functions. However, for the purpose of this workshop, I condensed it a little bit. So for our corporate functions, we're hiring summer internships and full-time roles in our finance and accounting teams, our internal audit, procurement, our people development program, our Walmart claim services, and our international business segments. In regards to the skill sets and interests that will be needed for all of our finance roles, we're really looking for somebody who has an analytical mindset, right? Like someone who can look at the data and really determine, okay, what do these numbers mean and how do we move forward with that? We're also looking for you to have strong Excel skills. And throughout the time at the internship, we're going to be providing Excel workshops. So, if it's not a strong point, we're definitely going to be working with you to ensure that that happens. And then we want to know if you have any experience with data visualization, such as Tableau. And this would be a great opportunity to include that on your resume as well. If you have any advanced skills or proficiencies in those areas, because that already lets our recruiters know to flag your resume because you already, have some strong alignment to the roles. And then even in terms of our corporate functions, we will be looking for finance majors or minors, accounting, computer science, supply chain, or business. And even if you have any concentrations in those areas or a part of any clubs in those areas, make sure that you highlight that on your resume as well and speak to that during your interview and application process. In regards to Walmart claim services, this mostly has to do with in the event that there are any accidents in a Walmart store or in a Walmart facility. So we're really looking for you to have strong investigation and interviewing skills. Usually if someone is submitting a Walmart claim, it is not for a very good reason, right? They had an experience in Walmart that was unpleasant. So we really need you to have sort of critical thinking, problem solving, and be really empathetic and people focused, because this role interfaces a lot with the people of the business, but also our customers. And so for this role, we're looking for all majors and concentrations. In regards to our international strategy, this role is actually super cool, and it will be a 2-year rotational role as well. So we're looking for someone who is easily adaptable. Maybe you have global interests or studied abroad in a different country. You have some retail experience or knowledge about retail. You have research savvy ability as well. And for this particular internship and rotational program, we're looking for business administration, econ, and supply chain. And in regards to our people development program, that's everything talent acquisition, DEI, focus. And for that, we're really looking for sort of the skills and interests to be, being adaptable in ever-changing environments, right? Like now we're working in COVID, we're not really sure when we'll go back to office. So just being able to have a highly adaptive mindset and be flexible will set you apart really well. Additionally, we want you to have strong communication skills, right? Like you're going to be working with a lot of people in the business and this very human resources oriented. So we really need you to be strong in that area. And then as well as if you have any leadership or school involvement, that can also be a really good selling point. And for that program, we're looking for the majors: human resources, business administration, labor relations, any political science, economics majors, IO psychology, and education degrees. And in this segment, we're going to be talking a little bit more about our global technology team. So this video is going to talk about the global tech experience.
Okay, this is Walmart Global Tech, day 1.
Walmart is crushing it right now. The tech we're working on is going to change the way people shop. And we build technology that isn't just about making money. It's about making customers' lives easier, making sure that they save money so that they can live better.
Walmart is pushing the boundaries in technology.
It's really exciting. Even just one line of code can impact millions of people.
In a span of 2 years, I got promoted. I got my first scientific paper. I am filing the first patent.
If you have an idea, it goes from idea to development and it's out the door.
I've had more than 20 launches in the past 1.5 years. And Walmart gave me that opportunity.
I feel Walmart is probably the largest startup in the world.
You will be on a production team from day one. You will be touching the source code that drives our biggest systems.
There's so many things happening, from drone deliveries to autonomous vehicle deliveries. It's the happening place.
Currently, I'm working on a project that mixes concepts from reinforcement learning, optimization, and natural language processing. In Walmart, I've worked on 3D and immersive installations. I've also worked on some robotics and some connected devices.
You've got to think big, because everything you've done before is just going to be even bigger here.
What I love about working at Walmart, we're all together working on the same thing to make the world a better place.
Okay, this is Walmart.
Awesome. So there you heard it from the students themselves about their experiences. And this slide really talks about our intern projects, and sort of their focus on the customer experience, right? So Walmart's mission is to save money and live better. So through our global tech team, we're really trying to give interns projects that really help improve the experience of self-service pharmacy kiosks. So these are like real world examples of different types of projects that the global team has worked on that really align with our core business strategy. So one was to improve the experience of self-service pharmacy kiosks. Another one was rewriting the framework of the customer return experience, clinical services for our immunization program, and developing tools / Slackbot to ultimately improve fulfillment rates. So yeah, these projects are really cool and exciting and sort of shows that we really want you to grow here by giving you projects that will help assist in your professional development. So in regards to the technology full-time roles, this mostly will consist of bachelor's and master's degree. Usually we would want you to have like a little bit less work experiences. So I won't read all of this to you. I can send, Mrs. Jasmine the slide afterward as well. And then in regards to our internship, we will be hiring for software engineers, operations systems engineers, and technical project managers. And so this talks a little bit more about the key attributes for these kinds of roles. So just like computer science majors, computer engineering, information systems, or just having some relevant courseworks that align with computer systems, systems programming, architecture, and mobile development, just so you all can be successful in the role here. So these are just more attributes. So now we're going to talk about retail merchandising. So merchandising is really a cross-functional enterprise that leads to many different career paths, right? So our merchandising team encompasses replenishment, the modular team, the private brands, which is our Walmart's private brands that we sell, the buying component. So that is working with the category specialists and understanding the cost negotiations and the market trends. The business analytics aspect of that. So just providing more influence in terms of the strategy and driving results to close those business gaps, or trying to understand why, one category may not be doing as well as another one. And also you will be working with the planning team as well to understand the customer and business needs and P&L. So for our merchandising team specifically, we have a associate merchant development program, which is also a two-year rotational program that's really working cross-functionally to make sure that you are touching upon all those different teams that were referenced in the previous slide. And this slide just really talks about how you're going to have 5 rotations. You're going to have a mentor and a sponsor. You'll have classroom and on-the-job engagement as well. And so this is just an overview of how, the internship would be 10 weeks. And then from your internship, you'll be offered a full-time role, which will be from 14 to 18 months. And then when you complete that rotational program, you will be given an associate merchant position and will be owning some aspect of the business as well.
Fatima, we're gonna stop here.
Okay.
I'm not sure how much more you have to share, but we will have a Q&A session at the end.
Okay.
So if students have questions in addition to what you've already shared, we'll go ahead and let them ask those questions at that time. I apologize for having to stop you, but we have a very tight frame here of time. So we will allow the students to ask questions if they have those at the end of the presentations.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone. Looking forward
to Fatima. Okay, so next on our agenda, we have Carla Hatfield. Carla Hatfield is the General Sales Manager for KLSY News Lafayette. She's responsible for TV commercial sales, digital sales, and sponsorships. She oversees marketing plans and station revenue. She began her career at WAFF in Huntsville, Alabama as a news person. She was one of the first Black female newscasters in the state. Carla.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
This is a new way to look out and reach out to graduates. Normally we are in front of you guys and I can see your faces and can kind of gauge, what type of information it is that you're looking for. I do have a little bit of a presentation just to give you some background on the station that I work for. I see that one of my cohorts for the CBS affiliate there in Baton Rouge is going to be on the call as well later. Hello, Dawn. So can I share my screen?
Good morning.
Yes.
Are you guys seeing my screen?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Awesome. So I'm at KLFY, which is the CBS affiliate here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Most of my career was spent in the Baton Rouge market on the sales side there. A little bit about KLFY. We are the CBS affiliate here. We are celebrating 66 years on the air. We're very ingrained in the Acadiana culture. Our morning news is called Passepartout. Our noonday news is called Meet Your Neighbor. So we're a little different from any other market that you're ever going to work in because of the culture that is here. We are owned by Nexstar Media Group, one of the largest broadcasting groups in the country. This is just a little map of all of the different places that our stations are located. So if you are employed at a Nexstar station, there is plenty of opportunity for you to move and to move up in the company. One of the big things with Nexstar is that we do like to promote from within. On the sales side, I actually started as a sales assistant, which is sort of a secretary to the sales staff, and moved my way up to the position that I am currently sitting in. KLFY covers most of Acadiana. We are market 121 with a DMA population of 483,000. There are 250,000 households, TV households in our market. We have a huge digital imprint. Our total page views for August was about 6.5 million. KLFY is ingrained in the community here. We do a food drive. This will be our 35th year doing a food drive in this market. We have Coats for Acadiana. It was Coats for Kids. This year it's going to be called Coats for Acadiana. And we've been doing that for over 28 years. We are also tied to, I sit on the board for 232 Help, which is an arm of United Way in this area. And we also have big ties to the Boys and Girls Club. So when you think about a TV station, you don't always think about all of the jobs. Immediately you think about the news department. And yes, we do have a news department, and inside of that department, we have anchors, we have reporters, but we also have people who work behind the scenes in that department. There are people who produce the news. We have audio techs and we have graphic techs. The type of education that you need for that is definitely going to be somewhat of a mass comm background, because you will be dealing with that side of it. We also have an engineering department, which includes all of our IT, as well as the people who go and build out our studios and who set us up to go on live. And again, that is going to be that electrical engineering degree that will help get you in on that side. We have a promotions department, which is creative services, and they create all of the local commercials that we do. They also take care of any promotional commercials that you will also see, promoting Tune In Tonight, that type of thing. I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about sales, because that's what I do. Should be sales and marketing, because it's not just sales. And when we talk about sales, we're talking about you walking out and going out to reach out to clients, to reach out to potential advertisers and convincing them to advertise via television spot sales, digital sales, or a combination of the two. On the digital side, we can give just about any type of digital marketing that you're looking for. We can do where the commercial show up on Hulu or YouTube. We can also work with you as far as your banner ads on different websites. So it entails a lot of different types of things that we can do. We like to position ourselves as marketing consultants for our clients. So the few things that I can tell you about an account executive position. What we do here is we like to bring in, my favorite thing to do is to bring somebody in straight out of college. That way I can train you and I can make sure that you're going to be successful, because if you are successful, it makes me successful. And that's what the whole deal is really about. One of the things that I want to talk to you guys about, because we all have different positions and different things in each of our industries. But one of the things that I really want to reach out to you is to be prepared when you go into that interview. You're working very hard to get that interview. Make sure that you're prepared when you go into that interview. Google is your friend. Make sure that you have Googled that company and you know a little bit about that company before you get there, and have some prepared questions to ask to the person who's interviewing you. Clean up your digital imprint. When you have a lot of things out on Facebook when you're in college and you're having a good time, or your Twitter feed or your Instagram, that's okay. But clean up your digital imprint so that when you are applying for a job, that when we go to search for you, we don't see what you did last Saturday night with your friends. Dress for success. Make sure that when you go into that job interview that you were prepared to dress the way that company needs you to dress. It's gotten a lot more lax, and so some companies you can go in and just dress pants and a polo, but just make sure that you are dressed for the job that you are trying to get. And I know Fatima touched on this. Get your resume together. Make sure that your resume stands out. Make sure that people understand what different things you have in your background that can help you that can succeed at that particular company. Use LinkedIn and post frequently. LinkedIn is where we go to look at a lot of things. We do go to check out what you're doing on LinkedIn as well. And Handshake. Handshake is just for college students, but you guys are not going back to check and to see what kind of offers have been made to you. And reach out to companies before you're ready to graduate. I myself have held the position for 6 months because I found somebody that was really good and brought him in, and I held that position for him. And network. Get out there and network. Any type of networking that you can do, make sure that you're there and show your face and speak to the people who are there trying to talk to you. And voicemail. Set up a professional voicemail on your phone. It kills me when I call somebody back and they don't have a voicemail set up. And get a professional email address. So those are just a few of little tips that I'd like to kind of put out there for that. We are always looking to hire here in our sales department. We bring people in and train them from the ground up. It is hands-on job training. We do start you out with a salary, and we kind of work you into full-time commission. So if there's anybody out there who's looking to come back to Lafayette or looking to get a start in Lafayette, we're here.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hatfield, for that great presentation. You hit on a lot of amazing points. But we're going to just move forward. Like I said, there is a Q&A after the presenters have presented their company. We're going to move forward with Dr. Nanette Kelly. She is the GBS Custom AMS Scrum Master and Project Manager. She has over 20 years experience in technology industry with roles in project management, product management, and software quality assurance. She's a results-oriented leader and problem solver, and she holds an undergraduate degree in computer science, an MBA in marketing, and a PhD in urban higher education. Dr. Kelly?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. Just want to tell you a little bit about IBM. We are located here in Baton Rouge. A little about IBM.
Dr. Kelly, we're having a little bit of trouble hearing you. Okay, that's
Hear me
better.
now?
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
Okay. A little bit about IBM. It stands for International Business Machines. A lot of you probably at least heard the name. We're one of the leading cloud platform and cognitive solutions company. We're here in Baton Rouge, actually. Now, I've been here for 6 years. The company was here before, but primarily before it was salespeople and some technical support people. But in the last 6, 7 years, we have more developers and business analysts located in this site. A little bit more about the company. Some things that you may have heard of and may attribute to IBM are Watson, quantum computing, artificial intelligence, and of course, old things like the IBM PC, punch cards, and tabulating machines. We'd be dating ourselves for those of us who may remember those things. However, there's some other things that we've been really involved in, like the first heart and lung machine, and surgery. And here's some others I won't read to you, but check out. And we also consider ourselves as trailblazers for diversity and inclusion. And especially, I've been very proud of IBM in the recent years with the things that have happened in the country and how we try to help, especially with our own employees, to make sure that everybody is okay, whether it's physically and or emotionally, and to make our voices known in the communities that we live. For the Baton Rouge Client Innovation Center, we're located downtown in Baton Rouge. But for the last 12 months or so, we've been actually working from home full time because of the pandemic. As of this time, we're not sure when we will go back into the office. So everyone is working from home, and we've still been very productive in this arena. These are some of the practice areas for our location. Some of these are we have developers and analysts for these technologies. And you see project manager, business analysts listed too. And so with that, we have people from all majors. What you see below are the hot demand. So these are the really hot areas where we really need people. So that's from developers to still some areas where it's not developers in agile and scrum masters and project managers. And in those roles, we work along with developers to provide solutions to our customers. So that goes across any majors, not just computer science majors, engineering majors. We have from business majors, because we still need the knowledge that you gain. And it doesn't hurt for any of these if you do certifications while you're in school. That just helps. I know a lot of you are interested in then how to apply, especially for summer internships. Look on our website at ibmlouisiana.com, and there are internships available there as well as full-time jobs. So look out there for those. We also list here the job site in Monroe. So you'll see when you go to IBM Louisiana, that includes the Baton Rouge site and the Monroe site, where we have many developers, business analysts, and project managers there too. This is a little bit about the ERP package consultant internship. Kind of tells what the roles will be. This is on the other end, but especially some of you may have taken SAP or at least use SAP and data analysis in your work, Oracle, or any supply chain or Workday courses that you have. And make sure you always list that in your resume too. And I will, let's see. And I'll talk a little bit about that. I noticed a few other people did talk about your resume, but that's an important thing, is to be clutter-free. And while you want to be brief, you still want to be specific. And like I said, when you saw the list of technologies or platforms or languages that you use, make sure you include that on your resume, as well as if you've done any projects that you want to call out on your resume. And you see here about listing any accomplishments that you have. And yes, this is very important. They're grammatically correct and spell check. Make sure you have someone proofread it before you actually send it, because I'll tell you, any mistakes like this will actually decrease the chances of you even getting looked at. Even if all the other stuff is great, if they find these, you won't go any further. So make sure that you proofread, spell check, and have somebody else to look at it. And we look at two different types of resumes. When we talk about, remember I talked about a brief resume, and that's when you're showing one at a job fair. You really want that one to be brief, and I'll have everything that you've done on it, but you can do it in a more brief.
And then Monday, it happened. The Greek prospect meeting. And if you want,
I'm sorry, Dr. Kelly. Carlise Thomas, can you please mute your mic, please? Thank you. I'm sorry, Dr. Kelly.
That's okay. And more in a brief, concise, so that when you're handing it to someone at a job fair, they can glance and as you're talking, see the highlights and points. Now, of course, when you're attaching a resume to a job application, that's where you can provide more depth. And if you have to go over one page, then that's more acceptable in a job application resume. And then for both, we recommend you make sure you include key buzzwords and titles in your resume. And that may cause you to have several different resumes if you're applying for different jobs, because if you're applying for a job and in that job description, you see keywords and buzzwords mentioned, you want to make sure those are called out in your resume in case the HR person or the hiring manager does the Control F, making, if they've got hundreds of resumes to look through, they're going to look for buzzwords as they determine which ones they're going to look further into. And one last note about professional networking. With football season in hand, and especially with homecoming coming up, you'll have a lot of alumni members to come back to campus or come to your classes and talk. Make sure you network with them and that you ask them what they do for their company. If they have business cards, get them, and maybe follow up with an email just thanking them for talking to you. But that helps you make connections so that when you're looking for a job or an internship, you have somebody to directly contact. So that's kind of all I had today. And I'm sure that the department has my, I didn't put it on a slide, sorry about that, my contact information. So, feel free to reach out with any questions that you have even after this to me. And if I don't know the answer, I can at least connect you to other people who may. We have a lot of people from Southern University here at IBM at the Baton Rouge site, and we're all eager to help and make sure that our students are ready.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kelly. A lot of great information shared again. If you would like, Dr. Kelly, you can use the chat to share your contact information along with any other presenters that would like to share your information.
Okay.
Please utilize the chat to share your contact information with the students.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Next on our agenda, we have Lynette Augustine. She is the NA Fabric Care Beads Business Director for Procter & Gamble. Lynette received her BS degree in electrical engineering from Southern University, and she holds a master's in business administration. Some of her personal equity includes business leader, results oriented, and trustworthiness. Lynette is also the lead P&G recruiter for Southern and has led the execution of Procter & Gamble sponsorship for Bayou Classic the last 4 years. Ms. Augustine?
Hello, good morning, everyone. I am having a little bit technical difficulties this morning, but I am on my iPhone, so I do apologize. I was trying to share my video, but unfortunately, I'm not able to do that. But I'll just share a little bit about Procter & Gamble, and then we can talk through our hiring process as well. So I am from Napoleonville, Louisiana. And I've been working for Procter & Gamble for 27 years now, so super excited. I am also based in Cincinnati, Ohio, where our corporate office is located. So Procter & Gamble is the world's largest consumer goods company. And so a lot of the products that you use every day, Tide, Gain, Crest, Old Spice, Olay, Bounty, and just numerous other brands that we currently have in our portfolio. And it's all about making our consumer lives better. We are a global company, so we have offices across the world, and we also have about 5 billion consumers that use our product on a day-to-day basis. So, and we're also, our equity is having really strong products that exceed our competitors. And so it's about making our consumer lives easier every day. In Procter & Gamble, we hire all majors, which is very important. And so the first thing that we have for our freshmen and sophomore students, we have a Procter & Gamble Emerging Leader Camp, and that's based in Cincinnati and also at our manufacturing plants across the US. It's a 3-day all paid expense by P&G, and typically we'll bring in about 200 to 400 college students at each location across the US. And at that point, you would have a chance to learn about our company, also get a chance to meet with our CEO and our top executive leaders. And then also the third day, you'll have a chance to actually interview for a summer position for the next summer. So that's one opportunity that we have, as well as internships that are available and full-time as well. So as we think about making a consumer product, again, it's about making sure that we, in the end of our supply chain, from our suppliers to our manufacturing plants, to our warehouses, to our customer store shelves, making sure that we have all the components there. And so sales, as we think about the supply chain of the actual logistical skills to do that, the transportation side, the engineering side, and so the finance side. So that's all these different components is why we hire all majors for the brands that we have in our portfolio. Really super solid company that we have. Our pay structure is very competitive to our competitors in the industry standards. And so we would love to have more Southern students a part of our team in all the areas that we just talked about. We are going to have an information session next Wednesday at 5 p.m. and we will share in detail information on how to apply. We'll also be on campus again about a month later. So we're working with Mrs. Montgomery to make sure we have those dates in place for that. But there we'll provide tips on how to properly apply. To get into Procter & Gamble, we have over 200,000 to 300,000 students that apply every year. But we show the application process, the resume process, the actual test process, that's time to make sure that you have a solid foot forward. If you go to our pgcareers.com, and you click under the hiring process, we do have practice tests. We also have tips on how to complete your resume. We also have tips on how to complete your interview process. So all that stuff is properly documented there. I will also put my email in the chat. So if you are unable to attend any of our information sessions that we're having, please feel free to reach out to me and I will provide you more data on our testing process and our process on how to apply so that it would help increase your chances of getting, because that's really step one. You have to pass the interview and test with any of our programs. And so we want to make sure that, again, as one of the presenters talked about, on your Christmas break, your Thanksgiving break, you want to take time to really go through those components of what's required. And again, our tests are pretty standard to a lot of the Fortune 500 companies. So once you set your interview, your questions, your application, your resume and everything, you can reapply those tools across multiple places that you apply for. But we will provide training on how to make sure and techniques on how to make sure that you can properly apply for Procter & Gamble. So that's basically what we have. And we're really looking forward to the students seeing you guys at our virtual. We actually, we're trying to get one of our managers there on Friday. So I'm sorry, on next Wednesday for the information session. So Ms. Montgomery will provide more information on location as well as at 5 p.m. we will have that session available for all the students at Southern University. Any questions?
You want to hold the questions now or questions at the end, Ms. Banks?
Questions will be at the end, Dean.
Okay.
Thank you, Lynette, so much for that presentation. So now, students, we do have for sure 2 info sessions coming up. One will be today, actually, at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then Ms. Augustine just announced that there will be another next Wednesday, which is also the same as the Career Fair. So the information is in the chat box. If there is a login information for Tima or Lynette, please leave that information as well for the students. We're going to move into our last presenter, Don Lloyd. He is the sales director for WFB News in Baton Rouge. He leads a sales team that develops and maintains marketing plans, including spot placement and digital advertising for regional, national, and local accounts with the objective of growing client revenues. His career path has given him a high level of practical knowledge in business development and business growth. Don holds a BS degree in business administration with a major in marketing and a minor in golf course service from University of South Carolina, Aikens. And he also has other programs that he has completed to enhance his skills. Don?
All right, thank you very much. And good to see you, Carla. So Carla's one of the best in the business, but she'd be great to work for, but stay in Baton Rouge, okay? You know, I'm going to try to make this short and sweet. I don't have much of a presentation. I'll show you our job openings in just a minute. Kind of wanted to go through a little bit about what our company is, what WAFB is, and then you know, what might interest you here at the station. So our company is Gray Media. We are a you know, a large company, a growing company. This I think a company with a vision. This year, our company started off the year by buying a Quincy Media, a $925 million company. A couple months later, we bought another company, Meredith. It takes a while because we are governed by the FCC to make these deals happen, but we close on Meredith in December. That's a $2.85 billion deal. We also just recently, last week, bought Third Rail Studios in Atlanta for $27.5 million. And there are plans, lots of plans to keep growing, not just buying TV stations, but on the production side, we have a production company. We create, our company produces Saints preseason games when you see those. We produce some other NFL games in other cities as well. So it's a good sized company. Once Meredith, that acquisition takes place, will be the second largest broadcast company in the country. And the good thing is, Carla mentioned this, that you can move around within our company. If you have different cities that you want to live in, or places you might want to go, it's a company you can start with and stay with for a long time or your entire career. You know, as far as a company that cares about its people, that's the type of company Gray is. Last year with COVID, we were one of the first companies to send people home. We did it pretty much immediately, and people stayed home to stay safe, working from home. You know, a couple of weeks into COVID, our CEO sent an email out that said, nobody will lose their job this year. It is not going to happen. Everybody's secure. Don't worry about it. Wanted to put everybody at ease, you know, just because it was, you know, you saw the stock market, you saw what was happening. It was nuts. We didn't know what the future held for jobs, for the economy. And then also they put something in place where there would be no negative impacts on salaries and pay for the company. They couldn't do pay raises. They did freeze that. But at the end of the year went well. Everybody in the company received bonuses. Then you fast forward to this year, the year was going well. Halfway through the year, they put something in place where every employee got a pay raise. And then you move forward a little bit just to our area here in Baton Rouge and in New Orleans too. But at our station, we had a corporate person that came in and they said, you know, everybody was affected by this hurricane. If you had to, you know, travel to stay with family and pay for gas or buy a hotel or whatever it is, and they cut everybody a $500 check that works here in Baton Rouge, and everybody in New Orleans, anybody that had any chance of being affected by the storm. So it's a great company to work for. At the end of the day, you know, it matters where you work, who you work for in, you know, in Baton Rouge. But, you know, it's nice to have the big portion, the guys that make the decisions, the ladies that make the decisions at the top, caring about their employees. You know, and so a little bit more about Gray you know, there's different departments, of course. The main departments I will talk about are going to be for jobs or marketing, you know, ones that are relevant to you all, and it's marketing and sales. On the sales side, we have a big training program. So if you've never been in sales and you're interested, or you have been in sales and you're interested in sales, we have a sales group out of Charlotte and Columbia, Charlotte, North Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina. And everybody receives a lot of training to make sure that you are prepared to sell what all we have to sell. So it's we have a huge training team. They work with you from day one, and they can be a resource always. You know, they're a resource to me even right now. So Gray as a company, like I said, is set up well. Now we talk a little bit about WAFB. The main piece that people think about is the news side, the news content side. That's what's you know, public facing here in our area. And so, you know, with that, there's news that you see on TV. When it comes to viewership, WAFB is one of the top in the country as far as most every measurement's ratings, which is just percentage of the population watching. And those numbers are big, they're large. Also, when you're talking about what else happens at a TV station that is public facing, not in the same way, that is the sales side. The sales side, we're always in front of businesses. We're always in front of business owners. We're in front of the movers and shakers here in Baton Rouge. So it can be a very fun job. You're also in front of some of the new businesses where it can be really, really rewarding when you start with them, help grow their business, and over 10 years, 5 years, 20 years, whatever it is, see a small business become a massive business and one of the big movers and shakers here in town. So there's a lot of fun in what we do. You know, also on the news side, talk a little bit about television. There's the digital side of that as well. On the digital side, when you are looking at, so we sell digital, we sell news, we sell the CBS program as well, because we're a CBS station. But on the digital side, when you're looking at what's visited most here in Baton Rouge, it's Google. Google's the #1 most visited search engine, site, whatever you want to call it. And #2 is Facebook. #3 is WAFB. So tens of millions, within the last 4 weeks, we've had 35 million plus page views and counting. So when you're looking at selling products, the digital side is fun to sell. It's easy to sell. We have anything that you need to help your business owners, your clients, your advertisers grow. So, after talking a little bit about that, I'll share my screen real quickly. So give me a second. These are our current job openings that we have. One is account executive, so I'll talk a little bit about that. That's a sales job. It's just being a salesperson. There's a lot of great things about being a salesperson. For one of the benefits, like I talked about, is a training program. But when you get in sales, it's fun. It's rewarding. It's rewarding to grow businesses. We do a lot of fun things. We go to dinners. We go to lunches. We go to Saints games. We go to LSU games. There's always a fun side. It's work too. There's a lot of work. Calling on new businesses, trying to harvest business that wasn't there on your station before, doing advertising and grow them. It takes a lot of work. So what do you need? You need, to me, the number one biggest asset that you need is passion for being in sales, and passion for doing a great job. If you have that, that is the starting point to a great salesperson. Some salespeople are super detail oriented, and that's great. But we have a sales staff, so we need some that are that way. We also need some that, are what you might imagine that you would see on a Netflix movie, that's just slick and can talk and say everything the exact right way. We need that too. We need all different personalities in sales. So, really and truly, passion is what is needed most. Experience does help. If you all have done some internships, if you have sold somewhere, whatever you've done experience-wise can help you in sales. It just gives you a head start. So what we have is really an entry-level sales position. And when I talk about sales positions, the career is good. The career is great for sales. You can get into that account executive position and do that the rest of your career, and make plenty of money in that sales position. You would never really even, some account executives never want to be promoted. They never want to go anywhere else. They're happy with the money. They love what they do, and that's fine. Outside of that, with a large company, even here in Baton Rouge, there's room to grow. As an account executive, you can move into a digital sales manager position, a local sales manager position, what I do, a director of sales position, a general manager position. There's a lot of directions you can go after going into sales. It also can help build your career if you want to move outside of this exact industry. Sales is sales. Once you've got it down, you have transferable skills that can help you anywhere. So we do have a current position that just opened up. So if anybody is interested in sales, would love to talk to you about it. We always have jobs opening and closing, and things moving around like any company does. So, the other jobs I want to talk about are in the marketing side, marketing promotions. We have a Louisiana Weekend lifestyle reporter position. And that position is really if you want to be an influencer. There's a website that is Louisiana Weekend, but really what that person is doing is providing content, providing video, providing information to the public about what is happening, what is fun, what are you going to do this weekend. That's our Louisiana Weekend. Restaurants, bars, concerts, whatever it might be. What do you need to be a Louisiana Weekend reporter, lifestyle reporter? You need to know how to shoot and edit. So you've got to have that down for sure. Want to be in front of people, because you will end up in some newscasts. You will be all over the web. You will be all over social media. Need somebody that wants to be on social media, that loves that. We need somebody that loves the trends, looking at trends, being a part of the trends, ahead of the trends, or being a trendsetter. So that's our Louisiana Weekend position. And then we also need a graphic designer right now. That position, most of these positions are people that have been promoted or moving to somewhere else in our company. Our graphic designer that we just had was phenomenal. He was young, straight out of college, did a great job, got promotion, got a nice raise, and went down to New Orleans. So we are looking for that position. Mainly they're using Adobe They're creating graphics for news, graphics for sales, graphics for, advertising. When I say sales, it could be our presentations. It can also be directly for advertisers. What do they need to do? They probably need to be able to shoot and edit too. A big part is just being able to take whatever, artistic side they have and moving it into the digital space, putting it on the web, putting it in a digital format that might go on the news as a graphic. So that's what we're looking for in that position. So I've got my contact info here. I'll drop it in the chat as well, but that's my 225-394-9383. That is my cell phone. That is the best way to get me. If I don't answer, I will call you back. And then my email as well is pretty simple, don.lloyd@wafb.com. And, if you have other interests, like I said, jobs are opening, changing all the time. Each year we're going into a budget season. We plan on what we want to do for next year, and we have a vision, a vision for next year. So one of the big visions we had last year is creating an OTT studio on the streaming side. As soon as we built that out, and when I say as soon as, I think we had to still connect a couple of wires, and Hurricane Laura came through. And, at that time, we had a station that came here and ran all of their news streaming and over the air and in every way, shape, and form from here at WAFB. Fast forward, we've got that thing modified. We've got the OTT studio much better. And just recently with Ida, New Orleans, their station power went out, then their generator went out. So they came here and we did the same thing from our OTT studio. So we will be building more OTT studios here because we can't do it. We want to do on the OTT side from having other stations here in our building. But, so there will be growth. There will be different types of opportunities. We have an executive producer for OTT, which is one of the first in the country. So when it comes to digital and when it comes to technology and when it comes to news, WAFB, if that's what you're interested in, is one of the best in the country. And that's all I have for now.
Thank you so much, Lloyd. We appreciate the presentation, all the information that you share with the students concerning positions that you have opening right now. So what we're going to do now, students, we're going to go ahead and do the Q&A session. I know a lot of you have burning questions for our presenters. Now is the time to speak or forever hold your peace. So if you have any questions about any of the presentations or what else you need to know in order to secure a position in one of these companies, now's your time to ask. Also, there is a wealth of information in the chat, contact information. You're a step ahead of everyone else and having information to contact these representatives concerning their company. So also check out the chat, but at this time, we're going to have questions for our presenters.
I have a question for Mr. Lloyd, who just finished. I was wondering, like you were saying about the positions that were open, what was the best way for us to go ahead and like apply for some of those? Should we just contact you or should we go like on the WFAB website and look under their career section?
Sure. So that's a great question. And please do, reach out to me. I would say anytime you're applying for a position, at least on the sales side, the more aggressive you are, the more the sales managers like that. If it's the marketing side, they might not love that as much. But so we have, if you go to gray.tv, that would be, you can find it from WAFB. I think the easiest way is go to gray.tv. That's our parent company website. You go there and it will say at the top, and I can drop this in the chat too, but it will say at the top, careers. You click on careers and you can put Baton Rouge and it will show you the current openings. One or two of these openings might not have even popped up yet. It takes a couple days for them to go live. So like I said, it's ever changing, but so gray.tv and go to careers.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Alicia. Any other questions?
This is Andrews. I have a question for Ms. Jones in terms of your info sessions. Are those going to be online or are those going to be in person? Is Lynette there?
I'm trying to see if we still have her. I don't see her here, Dean. I can contact her. And if
All right.
anyone else has that same question about the info sessions, I will just shoot me an email. I'll let you know what her response is to the question about the info sessions being virtual. I know that Fatima mentioned a info session they have today. It's
Yeah.
going to be at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. Is that correct?
Correct,
Will
correct.
that be virtual or is that going to be here on campus?
It'll be virtual, and you can sign up on Handshake. We'll have business recruiters and partners there as well.
Thank you, Fatima.
Ms. Banks, I have a question for Ms. Fatima.
Yes, please.
If you
Dr.
can share with our students the Walmart program, the Walmart Accounting Finance Development Program. Can you elaborate, give some information to our students, please?
Yes, yes. So our Walmart Accounting and Finance program is a rotational program and an internship that it will be 10 weeks, and you will get to work in different business aspects of the Walmart and accounting team. So Donnell is the lead for the accounting and finance program, but under that program, you will really get to work with Brandy Joplin, who is the CFO of Sam's Club. And you really get to see all the ins and outs of the business while working on an independent research project and having ARG mentors, as well as connecting with other students in the program. And if our internship is virtual again this year, we will be inviting students to our home office in Bentonville for an expense paid weekend to sort of see our campus, see where we work, and network with each other. So that is an incredible opportunity for juniors and seniors with the LISA 3.0. And we're actually actively hiring for that role like right now. So if you are interested in that, please feel free to send me your resume. I would love to take a look at it. I would love to connect you with Donnell, and yeah, would love to have you all join us.
Thank you, Fatima. Are there any other questions for Ms. Carla Hatfield with KLSY News in Lafayette or Dr. Nanette Kelly with IBM? Any questions for those two presenters, or any more for Fatima or Don? Or I don't think Lynette's still with us.
I have a question for everyone. I'm Kennedy Madison. I'm a senior marketing major. I wanted to ask how long would it take for us students to hear back from all of you if we were to apply to all the different opportunities y'all been discussing?
In regards to, if you send your resume, I can get that over ASAP.
Fatima, may we know your email?
Yes, it's Fatima. I can drop it in the chat again. It's Fatima Sacco at Walmart. But let me put it here. A lot of our opportunities, I will say, are for juniors and seniors, though, because we're really trying to get you to talk about Walmart over your Thanksgiving weekend and break. We want you to accept roles here. So while we do care about our sophomores and freshmen, we're really working with the upperclassmen so that we can put you on a track to receive full-time roles here.
We typically get back within a couple of days. Because of the way things are right now, we will schedule a Zoom interview or a telephone call with you, and then we'll take it from there. And if you move forward, we'll have you meet with my local sales manager as well as my digital media manager.
Thank you.
Nanette, you're on mute.
I'm on mute, yes. And for IBM, it's usually just a little longer. Of course, you can email me your resumes if you do apply, and I can help get it to people who are hiring. But in the big process, it does go through our recruiting department first. But I have to tell you, we are doing a lot of hiring right now. And so things are moving, I would say 3 to 4 weeks maybe before you'd hear back or have an interview.
And here we're very similar to probably everybody else. Some of the same exact thing, some of these we kind of follow suit. But I mean, really, I would say if you apply, please call me, please email me, and I try to return any type of correspondence within business days, say 24 hours. and we can have conversation. Outside of that, if you want to know how the entire process works, is we usually have a job opening open a certain amount of time. So if it's open for 3 weeks, we're not going to do that the final hiring until that has happened. Sometimes it stays open a little longer. Once that's happened and a job offer's out there, we do a drug alcohol test, driving check, background check, those types of things. So that's part of that's up to whoever applies. If we give them that information to fill out and to get taken care of, it might take a few days. Then it takes a few more days for all that information to come back to us. And then we're pretty much ready to hire. So I think the fastest scenario might be a 3-week turnaround from somebody interviewing to closing out that job. That's not the norm. It's usually a little bit longer. So I would say, if I'm hiring somebody, I'm thinking, a decent amount of time. It'd be a month before we have somebody in place here.
I also wanted to ask, were y'all hiring for like full-time or part-time positions, being that a lot of students are graduating either this semester or like next semester? Like, how would that work out if we graduate next spring?
So we are hiring full-time right now. I think there may be an MMJ, which is a reporter position available on the news side, and they occasionally will do some part-time hiring over there. I have worked, depending on the student, depending on their energy level and how well they are fit for the job. I have hired some part-time students that have come on later to work with us after they've graduated.
I can jump in here. Walmart, we don't have any part-time positions available for our full-time or internship positions. However, if you did indicate on your application your graduation date, we would be willing to consider that. And we would also work with you to see when your best start date will be. I know AFDP program, the accounting and finance program, can start in January for their full-time hires.
And for us, everything that are the 3 positions we talked about are full-time. Most everything in sales and marketing is going to be full-time. On the news side, I don't know that anybody in here, on this call is on the news side, but if so, we do have part-time positions that come available. From digital content side, we have people kind of manning those desks almost all day and all night, every day. And then the MMJ positions, which is, basically knowing how to do photog work on the weekends, those types of positions, we do have part-time off and on.
Thank you. Dr. Keller, would you like to add to that response, and we'll go ahead and wrap the Q&A up?
Okay, and for IBM, most of our positions are full-time. As far as hiring in or getting an offer earlier, a few semesters before you graduate, that is possible. If you come in and you're a candidate that we really want, they will make an offer and give you a start date for when you would be available. So that, especially if you have the skills and whatever that they're looking for. So.
Okay, thank you all so very much for your questions and your responses.
Could I ask one last question right quickly? Okay. What are you guys requiring with respect to COVID? Are you requiring us individuals to have the vaccines and things of that nature? That's to everybody.
WAFB and Gray Media require everyone to be vaccinated.
Thank you, Dawn. Fatima?
Likewise at Walmart.
Thank you. Carla?
We have not come down with a vaccination that you have to be vaccinated. You are required to wear a mask inside of our building. We do still have some people who launch from home, but I think that that's coming shortly.
And for IBM, we're still all working from home. So the specific requirements have not come down, but from what I've seen, it's leaning toward requiring vaccination and showing proof of vaccination once the facilities open back up. But right now, we're working from home.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you all very much.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the Q&A. Like I said, students, there's a lot of information, contact information in the chat box. If you have any other questions, please feel free to contact these presenters. From my experience with them, they are very approachable. They're recruiting, they're hiring, and they're looking forward to hearing from you all. So do yourself a favor and contact them if you have any other questions. We're gonna now move on to the portion of the program about the for the departments, where you will hear from your department chairs. First on our agenda, we have Dr. Derek Warren. I know he has experienced death in the family, so he will not be on the call. If Dean Andrews would like to say anything about the MBA program, or I think I saw Miss Mary Marshall. If anyone has anything they would like to add about the MBA program, I would appreciate that very much.
Is Ms. Marshall there?
I think I saw her a little earlier. I'm not sure if she's still on, Dean.
I think
She's there.
Ms. Marshall?
Yes, I still see her there. Ms. Marshall, are you able to hear us?
Yes.
She's off mute, but I can't hear her.
Okay, well, let's go ahead on to Dr. Gabrielsos then.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, you're breaking up, Ms. Marshall. We're gonna go ahead and let Dr. G from the Accounting, Finance, and Economics Department tell us a little bit about his department, and then we'll come back to you.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Banks, and also I would like to thank all the presenters for sharing this opportunity with our students. So on behalf of my department, I thank you very, very much. I would like to say to extend greetings to everyone. And with regard to my department of Accounting, Finance, and Economics, I just want to share some information with the students. The first one is a scholarship. We have the Department of Insurance Scholarship, but also we are looking for more scholarship for accounting majors. We have very few, so we are looking for sponsors. We have the Gindia Scholarship for both accounting and finance. We want the accounting and finance students to apply, as well as the Mary Alice Darby Scholarship. And also a few days ago, we got the Marathon Oil Corporate Scholarship of $2,500. So that is good news for accounting majors, but still we are looking for more scholarship for our accounting majors. As far as the internship is concerned, thank you for Walmart. We are encouraging our students to apply for the Accounting and Finance Development Program. And also, I would like to share with our Accounting and Finance majors that Dr. Laurie Patterson, she has an excellent program. She got two grants from PwC, and she's developing a very excellent program for accounting majors as well as finance majors, and she's going to contact you soon. We have also internship opportunity for our students with Dow Chemical. And also recently, I think Wells Fargo, they are looking for interns. And also the PwC also, they are looking for interns. We got one, information today, inroads internship with Price Waterhouse Coopers, that is PwC. And Wells Fargo also, they have two programs related to finance, banking, and real estate. I encourage the students to apply for this. And also we are trying to establish good and collaboration with the Baton Rouge chapter of Louisiana CPA. In fact, a representative is going to visit our campus. They are interested to meet with our accounting majors, and also they are willing to provide scholarship for our students. In short, I would like to encourage our students, to come to the department, meet your advisor, and also we encourage you to apply for those scholarships, as well as the internship programs. And if you need any help with regard to the career fair next week, feel free to come to the department or contact your advisor, and we'll do our best to work with you. So thank you very much. And I also see my colleagues, Dr. Patterson, Dr. Omonok, and Professor Thelma Jones. Thank you for joining this information session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. G from the Department of Accounting, Finance, and Economics. We will now have Dr. Kimberly Powell Deloche to talk a little bit about the management and marketing department. Dr. Deloach? She's still here? Yeah.
Yes, I just need to share my screen very quickly. Hello, students. My name is Dr. Kimberly Powell Deloach. I currently serve as the interim department chair for management and marketing. I'm also associate professor of marketing here in the College of Business. In the Department of Management and Marketing, we have our esteemed faculty. They have a vast amount of knowledge in both areas, in a number of areas in management as well as in marketing. We also have our administrative coordinator, Ms. Cook. So if you have any questions about who your advisor is, or you have any other questions as it relates to overrides and additional scheduling issues and concerns, Ms. Cook can assist you in that area as well as in other areas. Just to let you know what the degree offerings are in management and marketing, I have them listed here as well as the concentrations. Also, there are other opportunities available in management and marketing. You heard quite a bit about from the company representatives, and a lot of those opportunities were in areas of management as well as marketing, but I want you to know about some other opportunities that are available here in the department. So you can see when it comes to student organizations, what's available. Also, for those who are interested in supply chain, please contact Dr. Sua because he's working on our supply chain student organization. So if you have an interest in supply chain, please contact him. If you want to know more about Beta Gamma Sigma, which is our honors society, and this is just not for management and marketing majors, but also for accounting and finance majors, feel free to contact me. Certifications and badges, those are really critical. They help to increase your marketability, increase your overall professional brand. There are opportunities as it relates to obtaining certifications and professional badges that are nationally recognized. And I have the contact people listed here if you have questions as it relates to obtaining a certification or some professional badge. Also, we have different experiential learning experiences here in the Department of Management and Marketing. And here are just a few examples. We have a lot of case competitions, and we are constantly looking for management and marketing majors for those case competitions. And oftentimes students don't really know what that encompasses, but you actually solve a problem for a business. And oftentimes, depending on how well you solve that problem, and it's done in a competitive teams and in different rounds, but how well you perform in that area, you can obtain a position or an internship opportunity from that particular organization. And I have the contact people here. We currently have a few case competition opportunities that are available, and here are the contact people for those are listed below. Also, we have our African American Consumption Lab and Marketing Education. You heard from Procter & Gamble. Well, we are working with Procter & Gamble in this area, and there are a vast number of opportunities to gain research experience, marketing research experience, and work with different brands under the Procter & Gamble umbrella. If you want to know more about that, please feel free to contact me. Examples of scholarship opportunities we have available here in management and marketing. We have the Gala on the Bluff and Top Jag Scholarship. These scholarships are actually available to all students within the College of Business, but I just wanted to make management and marketing majors aware that these opportunities are available, and I have who you can contact to find out more about the Gala on the Bluff and Top Jags. Also, we have our Terry Bacon Scholarship. We start advertising in the spring. This is one of our creme de la creme type of scholarships because of the fact that recipients received $3,000 across an academic year. So $1,500 in the fall and $1,500 in the spring. And you all heard from Miss Whitney Moore, and she is one of our recipients. We actually awarded 10 students within the College of Business this scholarship. And I just want to let you know about it, that it's going to be advertised soon in the spring. So keep watch over our social media sites, because we heavily advertise this particular, as well as all of our scholarship opportunities that are available to you all in the College of Business. And I gave a little bit of some information or some of the criteria for it. This is not all of the criteria, but it's just some, just to give you an idea. And one area that I do want to make students aware of is 2 letters of reference from SU faculty, and it must be signed and on letterhead. And oftentimes that creates a little bit of a challenge for our students. That's why I'm informing you all now, so that you can start working on it now. And when the spring arrives, you will have those 2 letters already. Also, too, I just wanted to say very briefly, because we hear a lot of the myths and the misconceptions that students have as it relates to internships and opportunities in the College of Business. And I wanted to debunk those very quickly. Myth 1, I'm not going to attend the career fair or apply for any internships or scholarships because my GPA is less than 3.0. Some of the companies that you just heard from, GPA is not really an issue. They're looking at other things and other qualifications and skills that you possess. Therefore, don't buy into just, everybody's looking for 3.0 and above. You have an opportunity to obtain a scholarship or an internship. And look what the Terry Bacon scholarship, that's 2.7 minimum. So you have those opportunities available. So don't believe that. Also, I'll worry about employment when I graduate. Please don't fall into that role either. Oftentimes we have students who come to me, and at the time they're ready to graduate, asking me to help them get a job. Take advantage of internships, because that propels you into employment opportunities. Myth number 3, I'm not worried about internships or employment opportunities because I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I am a strong advocate of entrepreneurship, but you may not be able to obtain those entrepreneurial goals until you're able to build the bank and gain some more experience and expertise to help propel you into a lucrative entrepreneurial position. So therefore, you may want to work for a while and take advantage of some of the companies and opportunities that these companies are offering. Myth number 4, I'm not going to the career fair or applying for that internship because I don't have the technological skills they want. Well, guess what? Get them. YouTube is a beautiful thing. I mean, you can learn a lot from YouTube. And if you need some assistance in terms of where to go, then please contact us. Also, too, contact Dr. Warren, who works with the IBM Skills Academy. Please contact us. We can direct you. And also, like I said, YouTube is a beautiful thing and it is your friend. Also, a special note, contact Miss Tamara Montgomery to register for the virtual career fair if you haven't done so. Take advantage of the virtual career fair. If you do not have a Handshake account, please obtain a Handshake account because you don't want to miss out. And also, take advantage of the presenters that have discussed what they're looking for and the opportunities that are available within their particular organizations. Stay connected with me. I utilize social media, and here are my social media handles as well as my email address again. I look forward to working with each and every one of you, and I wish you nothing but the best in your professional endeavors and in your academic endeavors. Again, thank you, and contact the Department of Management and Marketing if you have any questions. Ms. Banks?
Thank you, Dr. Deloach, for sharing the information. As she just mentioned, if you have any questions about any of the departments, please contact the chair, Dr. Kimberly Powell Deloach, or Dr. Gabriel Jesus. They're here in TT Lane on the 2nd floor. Also, for the MBA program, Dr. Derek Warren is interim. He's interim associate dean and director of the MBA program. So if you have questions about that, you can also contact him. Don't forget about the career fairs next Wednesday on the 22nd. Also, the Walmart info session is tonight at 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, as Fatima mentioned. The Procter & Gamble info session is also next Wednesday at 5 p.m. September 22nd. I will contact Lynette from Procter & Gamble about the platform for that session. And also just remember to create your Handshake and your LinkedIn accounts to search job postings and get your professional profile and talents out there. If you have any other questions, I'm always here. Stop by the office and I'll be more than glad to assist you. With all that being said, Dean, if you have anything else?
I don't see Miss Mary Marshall. Is she there?
Mary Marshall? Let's see.
Let's talk a little bit about the MBA program. As you know, we have the face-to-face program, traditional program. We also have the online program, and they're constantly seeking individuals who may want to move into that particular program. So there are a lot of great opportunities. So we want you to take advantage of all the information that has been presented to you today. You have some world-class companies and world-class opportunities. So take advantage of the scholarships that are available in the College of Business. We're constantly seeking financial assistance from our donors. We're in the process now, more or less, of developing the Gala on the Bluff. So hopefully we'll be able to have more funding for scholarships as that program moves forward. So I really just want to thank everyone for their participation and spread the word throughout the student body that there are opportunities that we want you to take advantage of.
Thank you, Dean. If there are not any other questions, that's going to bring our forum to an end, and we'll see you all right back here in the spring. Thank you. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Banks, and thank you to everyone that participated.